The next lesson we want to get into is what's referred to as the scientific method. The scientific method is how scientists figure out problems. Remember last year we had this COVID virus. This COVID virus, what they used was the scientific method to figure out how to go about finding the vaccine for us. One of the keys to the scientific method is what they call the hypothesis. The hypothesis is going to be a suggested or proposed explanation. In other words, they don't know that this is going to work, but they're going to make a try at it. You know, sometimes this is referred to as an educated guess. So suggested or proposed explanation. That doesn't mean the explanation is going to be true. What they're going to, the goal is this explanation. They're hoping that they can prove that they're right and come up with the solution. So in the scientific method, though, we have basically these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 processes, and it kind of goes in an order, and it just keeps circling around. You may have to keep doing the scientific method until you finally are able to support your conclusions correctly. So in the scientific method, what we have is an observation or a question. You know, what's actually going on. So it'll be a question. So it'll be pretty easy to pick up on. Is you're asking yourself a question. Now, to actually go about doing the research, you're going to have to get your hands dirty. So you're going to have to actually research the topic area. So you may have to go where the trouble is and observe some things. So you're going to be using, you're going to actually go out into the real world and do some research. And then you're going to, after this research, you're going to come back in and you're going to make this educated guess. You're going to propose a solution, an explanation. Now, you're going to try to verify this hypothesis by actually testing the experiment. So you're going to actually do this in a controlled environment. So this is going to probably be done in a lab, testing the experiment. When you test the experiment, you're going to collect this data and you're going to analyze the data. And when you analyze this data, you're going to try to then come up with some type of, see if you've actually verified what you wanted to, or you're like, crap, I'm going to have to go on and start again. But you always want to report your conclusions. So the conclusions are then documented, and this will help you give yourself some insights of what to maybe ask next. You know, what's your next question? What do I need to pay attention to in my research? What should my next educated guess be? What now should I change in my experiment? And what data should I be collecting from that? And then I'm going to report my conclusions again. And again, this cycle will continue on until you come up with an effective solution, or in our case, a vaccine that can be used to save us from a terrible disease, a terrible virus.